I'm Rowston. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited, man. This is a big one for me. So yeah, I've done all the hard training, and now I'm just trying to kill some time before the fight.
Yeah. Just a couple days left. Where are you at with things? Like, how's your weight? How's the mental? Everything like that?
The mental and the weight is never an issue for me. Like it's always good. Um, I've done this so many times. I've had so many fights, so it's just like it's nothing for me.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Obviously, big fight this weekend. But another guy on the card, somebody you're familiar with, Torres Finney. Um, is there any desire? I know you're focused on Cody, but any desire for a rematch with him?
Um, if the rematch makes sense and it makes a little bit not just sense but also dollars, I would 100% take that rematch.
Yeah, your nickname, Battle Giraffe. It's probably one of the most unique nicknames I've ever heard in the UFC. What's the story behind that?
That's that fight nickname. I owe that to Brad Quake Riddell. We were in lockdown, Israel, and some of the boys were getting ready to go to Fight Island in 2020. And we were just living in the gym. There was about 12 of us, and we were running some shuttles outside, like a 10 meter, 20 meter, 40 meter shuttle run. And Brad Riddell's, he's one of the fastest white men in New Zealand, and he hits that 10 and the 20 shuttle, and he's just absolutely blitzing me. And then when we get to the 40 meter one, he's about here, and then I'm slowly coming up behind him. For every 10 steps he's taken, I'm taking about two or three. And then I just get past him with my stride, and he's like, "It's like a goddamn giraffe." And then from then on, I had the battle giraffe, and I was just yeah, it's stuck with me ever since.
Yeah. Would you ever consider getting like a little giraffe tattoo or anything like that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'd have to put "I love mum" next to it or something. Otherwise, she'd kill me.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Maybe you can have like a sword or a helmet or something like that for the battle part. Victory for you was more satisfying. You get the call back to Dana White Contender Series, get that victory. Was that victory more satisfying, or was it the Andre Petrosky fight?
No, I'd say it's definitely the Contender Series one for sure. I had yeah, I had a lot of I felt like that was kind of like the last ride, like the last roll of the dice. Um, Contender Series, you when your decade changes from 20 to 30, they they don't look too kindly on that. So I felt like that was my last chance, considering I'd already had a chance before that. And yeah, I just kind of put everything into training camps that I had, but like I was going into that training camp being like, hey, this might be the last one I ever do. So and then so I was like, I'm just gonna enjoy it and give it my all every day. And when I got that victory, I was like, this is sweet. This is very, very satisfying. So 100% it was the Contender Series win.
Just going back a little bit after that, your first shot on the Contender Series, obviously things didn't go your way that first time, but was there any talk like with Dana White or UFC brass of like, hey, string together a couple, we'll bring it back or anything like that?
There was no direct talk between me and them, nor was there direct talk between my manager and them. It was just something I looked at. The evidence was there, the history was there, that if you are a guy that loses that style of a fight and you go off and you tear up the regional scene and get on a streak, they are much more lenient to you and definitely going to look into getting you back on. So I was like, fuck, I'll just give it a crack. I'm just going to do it.
Let's just go back to this weekend. Like we said, Cody Brundage, just what are your thoughts on him as an opponent, that matchup, and kind of how do you see that thing going?
And Cody Brundage is a tough matchup. You can't let his record fool you. Like if you just go on Tapology and look at it, and you'll be like, like this guy. But you got to look at who he's fought. You got to look at what happens in his fights. You also got to look at the gym he comes from as well. Like he comes from Factory X. Like that's not like a local gym. Like that's a bit of a powerhouse gym. They got Mark Montoya, who's trained some guys like basically all the way up into like the top three, top five contenders and stuff. He's got, he's trained PFL world champions. He's a very smart coach as well. So that's something I had to take into consideration, and my team considered as well. It's not just the fact that Cody's like a very good, athletic, strong fighter. Is that like he's got a very smart coach behind him, so he can dissect my game quite well, and they'll have a good game plan. So that's something that we were really looking into.
How do you see it actually going down Saturday night?
Split decision. I win split decision.
Yeah. Why is that?
Oh man, I don't know. Split decision. That's just how I see all my fights going. I always think they're going to be the hardest fights in the world, and the only way to win a hard fight is, or the hardest victory to get is a split decision. So that's how you know it's a hard fight.
Sure. Yeah, it's a little humble. You're not saying you're gonna go knock him out necessarily, but they do have those new bonuses. I'm sure that entices you a little bit.
A bonus is just a bonus. I mean, I'm going in there for the win, and if I get a
Sure.
bonus, I'm ecstatic with that. But a win is that's all. That's all I. That's what I came for. I came for a win in front of my home crowd, in front of my friends and my family.
Right. Yeah. And speaking on that, you had the fight in Australia with Petrosky, but that was Perth. So what does it mean to you to get that UFC fight in Sydney?
Oh, it's like a pretty cool moment, like full circle. About 10, more than that, maybe 12 years ago, I had my first MMA fight, amateur MMA fight, and it was about 20 minutes down the road from where I'm staying right now. And like all those people who were there watching it, they're going to be there on Sunday morning, coming to watch me fight in the UFC at the Kudos Bank Arena, which is unbelievable. Going from like a place that holds 300 people to now a place that holds about 20,000 people.
I think I saw something before this last card that Patty Pimblett spent like 250K bringing a certain amount of people out. How many friends and family do you have coming? Do you know yet?
Oh, I reckon that's going to be hitting about triple figures just. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
I got some people as well that have hired out like a room in a pub, and they're going to be watching the fights from a private room, which is going to be sweet as well.
How does that timing work out now? Because it starts, main card for the states, normal time. But what time is that? Sunday morning then for you folks?
That's a Sunday morning, but it's not super early. Where I'm looking at about a 11:30 start, so it's it's a normal day.
Oh, okay. Is that a little unusual though? Have you had any fights before where they were that early, or was it all?
The Perth fight was quite early. I remember
Mm,
I was getting picked up at about 6:30 a.m. Perth time.
wow. Yeah. So a little breakfast. Are you gonna eat beforehand, or I've always wondered that. Like, I'd be worried about the bowels going into the fight and everything.
Pancake, pancakes. Always got to have the pancakes before sparring. I always had pancakes before we sparred in the morning, and pancakes before Perth, pancakes before Contender Series, and I'll have some pancakes before this fight as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that sounds good. I would think that'd slow you down, but hey, I mean, it's working for you so far. Just and then that UFC 325 main event, one of your guys, obviously, and the rematch, Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. What are your predictions for that one?
Split decision. No, I got Volkanovski. They've fought before. A rematch is never the same. Like the same thing's never going to happen in a rematch because both fighters are completely different coming in. They're both going to change their game plan. But old man Volk is he's just something else. He's just getting stronger and stronger as he gets older. I think he's getting a little bit wiser as well, and he's a beast, man. From all accounts that I've heard from the boys training with him at Freestyle, they're like, this is the best Volkanovski we've ever seen.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. I was a little surprised when they announced that rematch. Another fight they announced coming up soon. Another one of your guys, Adesanya, gets that Joe Pyfer fight. You're
Mm.
familiar with some of those Philly guys, obviously, with Petrosky, but what are your thoughts, Adesanya versus Pyfer? Split decision or?
Could be a split decision. I don't think Israel's had a split this. When was his last split? Maybe the Blakovic fight or the Marvin Vittori, the first fight. But I see I see Israel just coming back, vintage Israel. Just getting back to kickboxing. He's got a guy Pfeiffer who's going to stand with him as well, and Israel has seen that look dozens of times throughout his kickboxing, his MMA, even his boxing career as well. Guys like that, and he's just watered a fire. That's all it is. So I feel like
Yeah.
he's just gonna it's gonna be a smooth performance from Izzy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm rooting for Izzy also. I'm pretty close to the Philly area. I'm in Pennsylvania, but I'm pulling for Izzy also. What do you think you'd be doing if you weren't fighting, punching people in the face for a living?
If I wasn't fighting and punching people in the face for a living, I would probably still be mowing lawns for my mate who I did jujitsu with. When I first started jujitsu, I had a little part time gig, and I was just helping him mow lawns and cut hedges and stuff. And it was pretty tough work, but I was about 17, 18, so it was I could basically roll out of bed off 2 hours sleep and probably four four vodka sodas and five bourbon and cokes the night before, and still put in a 10 hour shift on the lawnmower, then go and do some jiu-jitsu. But
Yeah,
so I don't know, maybe still mowing lawns or painting houses or something.
yeah. Now it seems like you swapped out pancakes for those beverages ahead of your work now. So I think that's gonna works out better for you.
Yeah, it's worked out better.
What's some advice you might have for anybody, just starting their fighting journey? Let's say maybe one or two amateur fights, like they're into it, but they're right in the beginning there.
If you're, yeah, if well, what I would go back and tell myself would be just to train a little bit more. Um, I did train as much as I could, but there was definitely like a few times or a few periods where I thought I should have knuckled down a little bit harder. It's just when you're young and you're amateurs, like try and fight as much as you can, whether that's kickboxing, MMA, boxing, jiu-jitsu competitions. Try and do as many of those as you can, and just be in the gym as much as you can. Learn as much as you can. Get as many reps in as you can while your body's still young and you can handle the load.
Yeah, what's your take on sparring? Because I hear different things, like a Max Holloway who barely spars anymore. Then you see Sean Strickland just full brawls every day. It seems like. What's your kind of take on sparring?
I lean a lot more to like the way the Thais spar.
Mm,
Like you should be sparring at an intensity that you could do every day or second day. Like it shouldn't be sparring so hard that you're going home with headaches and stuff. There's times when you should be like pushing hard in like sparring style scenarios. Maybe you're doing like quite heavy wrestling on the wall, and then you go into like pads or stuff like that. But I don't think you should be in the gym. I don't think you should have your best and your hardest rounds in the gym. You should definitely save that for the ring.
I don't know how much you look into this stuff, but I think last time I checked, you're about a minus 360 favorite. I don't know how much that means to you, whether that means anything or not.
In Australia and New Zealand, we don't operate off the plus minus. We operate on the
Mm,
decimal, so like the 1.5 or like a 2.2 or whatever. But I mean,
right.
MMA, man, is crazy sport. Matt Serra, GSP. What was Matt Serra? He was like a 8-1 underdog. Like anything can happen.
Absolutely. That's all I have for you. I appreciate you taking the time. Morning for you. I'm gonna have some dinner here because it's still Tuesday for us. So yeah, I appreciate that. I look forward to the fight, and I think you'll get it done.
All right, thanks, bro. Appreciate it.